clear, good.
Hello, welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're going through Stage 8 of Finnish Brutality 2023, Hit the Dirt. And that's a very accurate description. Again, they don't lie to you here at Finnish Brutality. They tell you what misery they're going to put you through. On this stage, you started face down, arms spread, rifle in the designated place, and on the start signal, you retrieved your rifle, stayed prone, and engaged some targets through the bottom two boxes of the VTAC barrier. Then you had to crawl under barbed wire, actual barbed wire, so you had to pay attention. They were generous in the height, but if you were wearing backpacks or like me, a large butt pack, you had to take it into account. And then you went back and forth between the two VTAC barricades, crawling most of the time. The far VTAC, the holes, designated holes, would require you to come to a kneeling and or squatting position. You just worked your way back and forth until you got 20 hits. And good crawling technique definitely favored people, and those who shot the stage who were not soldiers paid the price for not crawling correctly. Okay, this is a stage I'd hoped to do really good on, and it didn't turn out that way. So start right off with a malfunction. And I think what's happened here is an overstuffed magazine. When I came for Hatila 23 the previous month, when we left to go back to Virginia, we loaded up all the magazines with the lowest ammo, and I normally load to 28. I guess the other guys helping me loaded to 30 or 31. And yeah, that just caused the malfunction. But once I got it figured out, although big time penalty for getting it squared away, finally got moving, started getting hits. Honestly thought my crawl speed here was pretty good. I didn't get hung up on the wire like a lot of people did. Shimmying up to the barricade here, that took a little longer than maybe it should have. Found out later on that I didn't have to stand up and saved a little time that way. Wish I had figured that out early on. Lost my camera there. As you can see, worked my way back under the wire. Didn't really give me any trouble. The enclosed system of the AUG worked out pretty good here. Super dusty environment, and not a lot of ways for dust to get into that system, so never really had any problems due to that. So I don't have any forward GoPro footage for you here. The system just gave up the ghost. There's a little time there recovering the camera.
It's camera equipment. Clear.
And there's a little more time stuffing it into the blouse. Overall, I was hoping for a better score, but all the little time sucks just added up.
That's it. Put the same on, please. Are you ready?
Now for match run, we got all kinds of goodies here. So we went and you got some good hits right off. Always a good way to start off.
Safety is on. Down,
Now,
down.
Matt doesn't have any military experience, hence his lack of good crawling technique right here. And he was catching on the wires a lot.
Got it. Down. Okay, got it. That's not going to work.
But once he got clear of the wires, the hits started to come right away. And after a quick crawl back through that didn't quite make it on camera, back to engaging targets on the far side. Making sure to close his dust cover going through, always a good idea. The more gunk you can keep out of the system, the better the rifle will run.
Stay low, stay low. Good, you're clear.
Shit.
Just look how dusty the environment is. Every shot he takes, you can just see a ton of dust, fine like moon dust coming right off the rifle. So yeah, keeping that dust cover closed was really smart. Now Matt's keeping a lot lower, not getting hung up on the wire, which is only doing good to help him out.
All right, one more. Go, go, go.
You got this, Matt. Come on. Give me some hits, buddy. You can see the dust getting kicked up by the muzzle blast, especially when compensating like he has on the end of his rifle. Matt, how'd that stage go for you?
So the shooting part was good. Definitely on the crawling side, I crawled more like a toddler than a soldier. The other thing I was looking is it was really dusty, so I was paying really close attention to getting my dust cover closed and keeping it dust cover up to really try to maintain as little dust and grit getting in there. As you'll see in some of my stages, that was one where I had an open pistol, no empty mag in it, and I paid the price at the end of that stage. I had a pretty much a pistol full of dust and grime, but yeah, it was a good stage. It was actually a lot of fun. I didn't get hung up. I made my hits, and I had a blast.
Yeah, that's the thing. The lane you had to go through was very narrow. When Bloke on the Range puts his video out, you'll see the lane was the same width as L1A1. So that presented him a challenge. My AUG actually presented me a challenge going through it because it was so compact. I could cradle it in one arm, and when you're making this movement, you had to be super conscious of not breaking the 180, because while I've said that being a soldier knowing how to crawl helped you here, it also worked against you, as we had another competitor did what he was taught as a soldier, which was balance the rifle over his arm holding the sling, and as he's crawling, broke the 180 and collected a DQ. So this stage, as simple as it looks, it did require thinking to keep yourself out of trouble.
Yeah.
DQ was easy on this stage. I had a malfunction on this stage, kind of self-induced in the fact that when I aimed, I did like this in the prone, and my fingers were just over the ejection port, which when the rifle fired, pushed that round back in. Had to clear that. Cost me about 15 seconds, and had I not used up those 15 seconds on that malfunction, I probably would have been up there in the higher section of the scores on this one, but c'est la vie. Malfunctions are malfunctions, whether they happen to you because of bad ammo, bad rifles, or your own stupidity. You got to live with the consequences of them. And back to the field of glory. This time it's the tire hammer challenge. And yeah, this was very challenging. Apparently I chose poorly when I picked this tire. About 1.5 meters into this, I found a rock, and as you'll see, I'll be hammering on it. It's just really not going anywhere. And chatting with a lot of the other competitors when it was over, it seemed like everybody who was on this lane didn't get very good distance. We had the wrong tire and lane combo, apparently. I guess this tire had extra drag, as you can see right here. I'm just pounding on it. It's just not going anywhere. So yeah, there was a lot of other competitors that got a lot farther than I did with this. But I just kept at it like John Henry and Legend, and kept hammering and just got as far as I could get in the allotted time. Ended up getting 4.15 meters. Not the best score overall. A lot of other competitors got a lot farther. And I gotta say, after a day and a half, and this being the 8th challenge, I was a little on the smoke side. But did the best I could and just kept at it. Tried to make all the hits count. Thank you for tuning in today to watch this stage. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in tomorrow. Stage 9 is coming your way.